Hey, what's good? This is your boy Brian back with another Brian Speaks On, and want to go into a topic that stems from recent recent times, and it goes in concurrence with my Black Ownership mantra series that I'm speaking on right now, and I want to talk about the Million Man March event that just happened over the past weekend. I believe it was October 11th, and no, on the 10th. Excuse me, October 10th. And I want to go into the Million Man March from a couple of different angles. One being that we need to understand, as a culture, that we got to stop playing checkers when the game is chess. We don't seem to get that, and I don't understand why we keep continuing to play the same game with this lack of understanding. We need to understand that there's a system. We know that there's a system in place that serves to stifle and suppress and, on some levels, oppress, specifically people of color. We know this. This is not news. We've been talking about this for so long, from so many people. We're beating this horse to it's beyond dead. It's like The Walking Dead now. So why do we continue to do things in a certain method that does not work, and it does not promote any actual tangible change? Now, I say all that, and I go back to the Million Man March. It was epic. You saw, for those of us who bothered to research the pictures, because Lord knows you didn't see it on the news or any other stations other than C-SPAN, from what I understand, and who watches C-SPAN. But anyway, for those of us who saw the video, the images, and you saw how epic it was. You saw how we do have the ability to congregate and get together. My only problem is that we have a history of congregating and getting together, and my thing is, I'm more focused on the day after now. All right, y'all, we had the march. Everybody got together. It was beautiful, and people cooked out and showed out, and it was beautiful, and it was awesome, and you heard all the messages that you needed to hear from all the leaders that you needed to hear from. Now what? Everybody went home and did what? You went home and you woke up the next morning. Did you still feel energized the same way you did when you were there amongst everybody else? Is it a necessary thing that you have to be among a crowd of millions of people in order to actually think about something that you should be thinking about by yourself in your own home anyway, which is bettering yourself and how it is that you're going to take more control of your life and not be a slave to the system? Because some people make the system their crutch. They make it their reason of failure or having lack of success at the very least. They blame it on the system without looking at themselves and thinking to themselves, what did you do to get better? What did you do to get better? The system can't control your personal ambition. The system cannot control your dedication, your discipline. It can't control your desire. That is not a systematic problem. That is a you problem. And if you're not bettering yourself, how are you helping the overall? Because that's really what a movement is. A movement is everybody in conjunction working towards a goal. And if you go to a big rally and you go home and you go back to the same way of living that you've been living before you went to the rally and so forth, then what exactly are you contributing to the overall change? You want to go back to your and I'm not even gonna get derogatory with it. I don't want to start saying oh, y'all just wanna, you was ratchet before and you went back to just being ratchet, because it's not even that simple. It's not even that cut and dry. You have to understand that in order to affect change, you have to change. You have to change. You can't wait for change to miraculously happen, and you cannot wait for these forces to change for you, because they never existed for you. You can't wait for a system to change. As the classic saying goes, you know, you're waiting for something that was never designed for you to work for you. You know this, and yet you still wait for things to change from those who have no, it benefits them on no level to help you. It actually hurts them to help you, and you know this. And yet we still continue to talk in circles. We talk about the things that we need to do. This is what we need to do. Everybody knows what everybody needs to do. So why don't you just do it? It doesn't require this grand effort. All it requires is you getting better on your game. If you just sit, you know, if it's just a simple thing as saying, you know what, I'm going to read more. I'm going to learn more about who I am. I'm going to be a more focused parent. I'm going to pay more attention to what my kid is doing. I'm going to make sure that, you know, they're where they're supposed to be at when they're supposed to be there and doing the things that they need to do. You know, it could just be something as simple as saying, hey man, I was 5 credits short of whatever certification in whatever field. Let me go get those 5 credits. However I need to do it. Online, you know, 1 class a week at a time. Or what, you know, what are you doing to affect change for your life? That's ownership. And you can go to 1,000,000 marches with 1,000,000 men, and it won't mean a damn thing if you go home and you go back to living the same way you did before the day before. It won't mean anything. And the lack of media coverage, the pretty much blatant disrespect, shows you how much they think about your unity. That showed you right there how important your unity was. You know, Kim Kardashian got more play than your unity that day. So what does that tell you? If you want to organize and stop talking about what you need to do. If you know what you need to do, talk about the method in which you'll be doing it, and then apply it. And let's apply it as a community, as an infrastructure, as a foundation. That's what needs to start. I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm really done with talking about it. I'm past that. And we should be past that. We should have been past that. We should already have our infrastructure. And we should stop focusing on others and focus on us. Because you know what? That's what others do. They focus on themselves. They focus on their infrastructure. They're not focused on us like that. They ain't paying us no mind. And why should they? We're fragmented. We can't even get it together and become the force that we could be. I tell you, they'd be focusing on us if we all of a sudden started taking control of our communities. They'd focus on us then. If people in the PJs would suddenly stop being as disgusting as some of them are, you know, pissing in the staircases and the elevators, and actually taking care of their communities, watching over theirs and each other's children, stop living an individual life and live a life of a community, of that actual village that's supposed to raise the child that we always talk so highly about. But as soon as someone else says something to your kid, you ready to fight them. If we actually develop the infrastructure and the communities and our foundations, and that goes before monetary investment. That just comes with saying, hey, this is us right here, and we need to get together and we need to respect where we are, respect who we are, and respect what we have, and build from there. We'll take it from there, and we got this. We don't need you outside people coming here trying to disrupt or placate to us while doing nothing. That's ownership. Let's start taking some ownership, and let's stop talking about what we need to do. It's time to flip that checkerboard and trade it in for a chessboard, because we're still playing the wrong game, and we're not going to change the game until we change ourselves. And that has nothing to do with white supremacy. That has everything to do with you and yours. And that's all I got. That's all. Have a blessed one. Peace.